I'm looking very tired at the moment. I've just noticed myself on camera, but that's what a year's work does to everyone. Right, this video, I'm not going to be talking one hell of a lot. You are more welcome to comment, like, and subscribe, as we normally say on my channel. But we are going ahead and we are making some shaker doors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for everyone to jump on this live. I've got a cup of tea ordered, which I'm going to be waiting 5 minutes for that to get delivered here. And then we're going to crack on with the live. So, what I'm actually making in this video, everyone, we are live and we are going to make shaker doors. Now, these doors are slightly different to what I normally make. We've obviously got an example door by here, which I've used in the past for you. This is what my standard shaker door is. All of these are exaggerated on here just to show my customers basically the style of door that I make. Obviously, a lot of you know I make a lot of different doors. But this is my standard setup that I normally use. So I'm just going to pop this in here. So with this door setup today now, we are slightly changing up. Well, the customers decided to change their mind on the actual setup for this shaker door. So what they've decided in doing, we were just doing stiles, rails, panels. It was just a basic shaker door, but that has now changed. So I'll just wait for a lot of you to jump on ya, and I'll explain what we're doing in the video. Alright, Gav's no one on yet anyway, but is Blue alright?
Yeah.
Let me just check around by here now and I can see Matt and Doggy. So I'll just wait for everyone to jump on. I'll give it a minute and I'll explain what we're doing. Tell me if it's still on mute, because we had a problem earlier. I was running a muted live. I should have mentioned that to everyone. So just so everyone knows, I'm just checking my dog is all right. In the window, you boy? Is he in the window? Good boy. He's in the window, so he's happy. Right, let me move my tea out of the way so I don't knock it over. Right. This video is going to be freehand palm routering. Everyone's gone again, so I'll wait for people to come back on ya. I'll just give it a minute, everyone, just so people can jump on the live and get notified of it. And maybe I should jump on the community and chuck it on there and say, oh, I should have just scheduled it for later, but there we go. Right, so anyway, we are making a shaker door. All right, this is going to be a slightly different door today to what I normally make. I normally cut my rails and stiles. We normally chamfer these right the way through. Customer doesn't want that. They've changed their mind right on the last minute, just before Christmas, as customers do, which is fine. And they've decided they want to have a moulding on the door. Now, I explained to the customer, the stock that we're using for this job is 18mm, because I want to use a Blum soft close hinge, and that works beautiful with the 18mm stock. So the customers decided they would like me to install beaded moulding in here and keeping it flush to the face of the door. I have actually got to try and fit a 9mm panel behind the bead. I'm just going to get a bead just to show you. So these are the mouldings that I'm going to be using. Alright, so I just need to get these nice and flush with the top of my MDF here, and right underneath we need to rebate in, which I'll be using the router bit here, and we will rebate the back of this so I can slide my 9mm panel in there. Now what I've explained to the customer is, I don't like the fact that my panel is going lower into the door. And all I don't want to be doing is cutting the back of the MDF and then planting the panel in through the back, because it's not going to have as much strength. But I have mentioned this to the customer, and she said, if that happens, don't worry about it. We don't care about that. As long as you get the beads in here, that's all we're worried about. So I was happy to walk away yesterday. We changed the design of the door, and that's what I'm making right now. So all I've got to do now is freehand my router down to here and stop. We are not going all the way through with a chamfer like I normally do, which I've just explained. And then I can get the router set, cut all of these, and then after dinner, I can get all my panels cut and get them all knocked up. So that's the plan for this video, everyone. And then we're free to go. Right, so How much sugar's in here, Gav?
Huh?
How much sugar is in that cuppa? Seems really loads of it.
3 of them little things in there.
No, one.
What is it?
Yeah, it's 3 sugars worth.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, don't swear, Gav. You cut my live out. Right, how are you, Manny? Nice to see you again. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't. And I gotta leave because I was eating Cheerios. Lovely. I hope you enjoy your Cheerios. I'm looking forward to my dinner as well. I don't know what I'm having yet. But I have got to pop out at dinner time and get some material. So I'm probably going to go to somewhere like McDonald's today, I'd imagine. Right, anyway. What I need to do on here now is do these little chamfers, which we're going to do. It's obviously freehand routing. You've got to take your time with this. You can't go rushing these things. I have got a router table, as all of you know. But it's just setting it up. I haven't got the time to go setting all of that up today. I need to sort this workshop out and have it set up so it's ready to go every time I want to use it. But that'll be coming in future videos, everyone. So all we're going to do now is cut these chamfers into this material. And then I can cut my rebates. Well, not my rebates, my dado, sorry. Right, that there. Let's have a look. And we've got to freehand that to there. So I'm going to go with one of them. We are going to have a clamp as well. And I'm going to do what you've seen on the previous video and clamping up one side. It doesn't take that long. And then I'm going to freehand the router there. Job done. Right, don't remember me. Yes, I do remember you. You've got a different photo now. You live in Kenya. Yes, I do remember you. Nice to see you back on here anyway. It's nice that we got followers from all over the world. And we're going to carry on with this video now, everyone. So here goes. We are all set. Right, so I'll just get the door now, just so you can see what I've been waffling on about for the last 5 minutes. So this is what we are trying to do. That is going to line up there. Maybe I could have taken a touch more into that. So, let me just bring you in so you can see Sister's tablet. I'm glad you've got her tablet back now and you're back on my live. So that's all we're trying to create, right? That line there always cracks on a door, hence why we do this. And then this then is going to have the beaded shaker mold, well not a shaker molding, it's just a molding that I'm going to install here on top of my panel. So I just got to get all my depths correct and then we're done and we're good. So later on this afternoon you're going to see some lovely doors finished, that's the plan. So I'm going to crack on with this now. Because obviously we had a load of you on the last live and we've lost a lot of you now. So I'm just going to concentrate on what I'm doing. And then I'll start yapping once I've got all these cut, everyone then. So if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll get back to you in a minute. Here goes. Right, put them there. And these ones here. Some of these have been mixed up, so let's just make sure they're all correct. The last thing you want to do is make a mistake. Pop them there. Right. I don't feel right. Something's not right there. Here we go. Right, so what I'm thinking of doing is creating a little stop so I don't go too far on the router. So I just gotta think about it. I think it was 40 something mil, if I remember right. It is written down here. Right, 45 mil. So let me mark this up. Let's make sure we don't have a mistake today. So we gotta go 45. 45 mil back from there. Let's mark that up. It's going to take longer doing it like this, I'd imagine, but the customer changed their mind. And let's see if that works. That stops there. How far have we come? We've come too far then. Because 45 is centered, but then that's got to go back a smidge. Right, let me just get my head around this, everyone. Measurement. Right, so I've agreed to the customer to do something that's actually very awkward at the moment. So I'm just figuring out the best way of cutting these without having a nightmare on my hands, everyone. So let's just have a look how they look. Obviously I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone on this one now. That's looking nice. And let's have a look at that side. That's looking nice. So yeah, they're looking good. So I just got to go ahead and cut them all now and take my time. So let's get this awkward side out the way first. That side is easier. If I spin that, it means working in. I don't like routing like that. So I'll stick to what I'm doing. Let's measure this in now. 108. We should be good. And this is a problem, see, Gav, when you're doing a live, right? You can easily make a mistake because you're yapping away.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing half the time on a live. Right, here goes. Right, so we're just going to adjust our measurement. It looks like it was slightly shy, so I'm going to go 110 on this. And then once I've dialed this in, my life becomes a lot easier. So, let's cut this other side now. Those who are looking at this think I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, but all it is this have changed slightly. It's not what I normally do, and then it's turning into a bigger custom job and what it was priced for. So, here it goes anyway. And that's mad now, see, half the people who was on it earlier are gone.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Over that, there's only 7 people on there. That's why I try and unmute it, because once it's going out and it's doing well, you just leave it be, see?
Yeah.
How much will cut that?
I got the carry bag and these bits there.
It's a big shoulder.
Yeah, and let's cut it out again now. Loads of brassy bits in there as well. But that's all I got left now, is that carry bag there. And I found a tap.
That was in the brass, then.
Yeah.
Lovely. Right, so I'm going to crack on with these because these are a little bit awkward, but they are looking nice. They worth the effort. There's 2, not 10 to go. That's all for that one. Like that one. It's a nice one. Why did I agree to this job? That's like easy. What if I spin it the other way then? Yeah. I think I'm complicating it. I think I am complicating this, so I'm going to change what I'm doing on this setup now, and then I think we got him. Right, let's have a look. I'm cutting this way. All done. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to spin like that. Why did I even try and do it the other way? There we are, that's the way I'm doing it, that's absolutely spot on. So that's what we're doing. Happy with that now. So just found the best way of cutting them. Not happy with it, but it's working. I've only got these to do, so I'm going to crack on with this. Job done. Now, what do you find when you're making doors like this? What gets awkward is when you've cut your dominoes here and your bearing wants to hit the domino and it just starts doing this. So that's what you've got to be careful of. Alright? I don't like to chamfer it first. Maybe I should. I'm sure I used to do it like that, but you forget. When you're not doing jobs like this on a daily basis and it's only like 5-6 times a year, you do forget simple things. Back. So now we've got them right. go. Right, we now have all them cut. I've got a lovely method on cutting them now, so we're happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead now, and we're going to figure out, and we're going to see where the bead can install and where I can cut my dado for my side panel, excuse me. So this is where we're at. This is what we've cut. Obviously, let me get a piece for there just to show you. Obviously, we've got the domino in there, all right? These two are going to meet. And that's where you're going to see then on the face of the door. This side has got to stay flush because the customer wants the bead to finish flush with the face of the door. And hence why it slowed me down today on making these doors. So, I'm doing what they want. They will be happy customers. I'm getting paid for Christmas. And that's what it's all about sometimes. So, we need to crack on with these now. And I need to cut my dados into the side of there. So I'm going to be a little bit quiet now, figuring things out. I'm just going to cut myself a piece of this bead in. I haven't got my miter saw set up now. I think I'll just use the multi-tool on that. Oh, I'll get my handsaw. Have we got a little handsaw there? We have indeed. So let's just cut a piece of this. Sorry everyone, I'm knocking the cameras by here. Move my cup of tea out the way and cut a piece of this. So quiet, see, Gav, when you're on a live and you're talking to yourself. That's what you're doing, see?
Yeah.
You can't have a radio running on a live because you get copyrighted for it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Right, pop that out of the way. So, let me make a little space and let me figure out what I'm doing with this. Look at these. One of them. And one of them. So that's going to be my door. That is going to fit into there. So, I need to mark this up now. Don't know what the thickness of these. I think they're 6 mils, I think. Probably go down an extra mil, I see. See, it said 6 mil in there, and these are measured in 7. So I just need to go and add. All I'm thinking, if it finishes slightly up there, I can just sand that flat, so I haven't got a problem with that. But it's nice to try and gauge these in bang on. So we're going to go with that. So we're going to mark here. Don't mind if it sits down a millimetre or half a mil or anything like that, because I can pretty much sand that off quite quickly. Right, so that's the height. Let's see what we got left. Probably haven't got enough for a 9 mil panel by the looks of that. Have I got an off-cut line about here? might be routing these upside down then, I imagine. No, so it looks like basically, yes, I was correct. The back ain't gonna look the way I wanted it to look. So that is that then. So if I cut them upside down, I can see where that's got a finished job done then. Right pain. How are you, Robert? Nice to see you. That is flashing back and forth, green and red go. And go and plug it in, we plug it in.
Set of taps in the hangers.
Yeah. Got the awkward bit of this job to do now. I've got to cut a dado out of there, enough to leave that finishing flush on there. This is the awkward bit of this job. That's my face. Right, so that finishes there, which is going to look nice. So I'm thinking of going upside down on this. Once I get set, let me get a practice piece in first. We'll do it on this one here. Let's start again on this piece. Pop that on there. Alright, let's pretend this is my face. Mark. Pencil is a bit thick, so we are going to be down about 1/2 mil. Then I'm going to spin, then I'm going to cut. So I'm just talking to myself, alright? I'm figuring it all out. I don't know what I've done to these today. They're tight. And they're winding me up a little bit. Normally just drop in nice. There we go. That's that sorted. That's sorted. Let me sort this one out as well. That's sorted. Right. So, face down for this cut. I think we're going with. We're going to disconnect the battery, set the blade up, have a little practice run, and then I can go ahead and cut all of these, which is a right pain. This is the awkward bit, see? Pop that back in the box. Why do customers change their mind last minute? Right before I was going to make these doors, they decided to change their mind. I couldn't believe it. I think they'll look nice, mind. Right, so let's get this set now. Let's have a look. If we cut them down there, basically, they've just made this awkward, Gav. I can't use the bearing now. Oh, what have they done to me? I've agreed to something we can't do, I don't think.
No.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Right, so what I've just realised now, the customer's choice in it having this bead on these doors. I can't use the bearing, so I've got to come up with some idea of being able to router these now, which is going to be a right pain. I might have to get my router table set up actually, because that's probably the only option to do it.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. Set it back, put the blade in, put that in. It'll cost me a lot of time today, mind, setting that up. Now again, face down, can't use a bearing. That needs a couple there. It's going to make it awkward for panels, see, because that needs to be 5 mil in there. Let's just set the jig up. Let's have a look now. Let's have a go with this. Right, so we need to be 5mm back. So that's going to be my main rail. Let's have a look. Let's make our jig while we're at it. Pop that there. We're going to have that there. That's not the one we're going to practice on. We're going to practice on this one, and we're going to go face down. That there. So, should be fine there. Clamps, and then another piece on there. Okay. Why is it? I've never got enough material when I'm going to do something. There's another ripple end here. Oh, I'll just use one of them. And swap out then. Oh, I'm something double the thickness of that, really. Let's have a look what we got. There we go. Right, so I need to set that in 5mm. This is going to be very, very awkward, isn't it? So I'm normally coming to about there. Right. So the practice run. We're doing this live now. Figuring it all out live. That there. I'm going to measure that. Do a test run. Check how deep it is. 36mm back. 36mm back. And set that there, that there. Then we're going to set that on there. Where's my marks? And we should be able to clamp all this down then. We should have a nice little jig on the go then. Is that enough for that? Yes. Probably so. I'm going to clamp this on here. And I can adjust this jig to suit. So this is the joys. How are you, Danny? Right, I'll tell you what I'm doing, Danny. Right, I've come across a pretty bad problem. Right now, what we are doing is, let me just get another piece. We're making some simple shaker doors. All right, Danny. Don't know if you can see with the light in, yeah. All right. Now, normally when I do a shaker, I cut the chamfer right the way through here, Danny. And then I set my panel just slightly off center towards the back a bit more to create the depth for the shaker door. Now, a customer last minute yesterday changed their mind and they wanted me to install a bead in there, which is fine. I said, yes, I'll put a bead in there. So obviously they wanted this bead to finish flush with the face of the door, which I haven't got a problem with. I'm trying to show you in the light. But all it's leaving me is this much depth on the back here. Now I did mention to them, you might, I like the back part, the panel in the door to slide into the stiles and the rails of the door. I'm not even spitting it out. I'm not talking correctly better today. So I mentioned to them at the back, you might see where the shaker panel finishes and where the back of the door is. So the customer said they're fine with that. So the problem I've come across now, by setting my router, I can't use the bearing on the router. So all I'm doing is setting a simple jig now and trying to make it so it's 5mm in on both sides, and then I can cut my panel so I know all my measurements. So that's what I'm doing right now. I think we're going to be fine. It's looking all right. I'm going to do a test run on this now, and then we'll see how it ends up. So I do need to get some sort of stop in here so it doesn't fly off. Maybe I should have set my jig back a little bit further and used one of these. I think I will do that. Let's just make sure everything's safe. So they are my two main pieces of door. So just put them aside. So yeah, I think I can sort it. I've come up with an answer and I think we'll be great. So I'm just going to move this back a smidge now. And then I can go ahead and route these nice and safely. So let's just find a nice spot now. We're going to use one of them stops on the side there. Then I'm going to route that about there. Then I want to put that in there. And then I haven't got no holes. So if I move this to the side, just trying to make sure everything fits this all. Now I can put that in there. What I don't want to do is catch the side of this, see? There. Let's have a look. Or do I just put that sideways? I just do that. And then I haven't got enough. So it's a right pain. I'm trying to figure out where's best to set it all up with what I've got. There we go. I think I've got it now. And then that is just going to go on top of there. And this is my simple jig. Pop these on here now. Pop that on there. Lovely. Let's go ahead and clamp this now. I think we will be good. Move that over there. I'm going to chuck a third one on then. So I'm just going to try this now and then we'll see how the jig works. I've got to stop under there. That's nice and tight. That's not going anywhere. I just want to cut my dado on this and then we should be good to go. So let's just have a test run on this now. Obviously, sadly, I can't use the beading on here, which I'm gutted about. And I'm cutting these face down. So let's have a look. Let's see what happens with that. I hope this router don't jump now or nothing silly. What it is, I don't want to go setting up today now, again all the big saw set up. I could rip it all down on the rip saw. And this is what I was explaining to the customer. See, this panel now has become right to the edge of this, look, see? And that's all we got left. Nobody needs to see the inside of the door. Exactly, Danny. So this is what I was complaining about to the customer, is this little piece here. I will go ahead, I will cut all these off. I think that's going to look nice. Let me just get a 9mm panel. Alright, I haven't got an offcut to show you now. So this will be at the back of the door. The door is going to sit like so. There's my rail. Alright, now I'm hoping this is just right inside there. So do you know what? That's absolutely perfect. That setup's working for me. So I'll go ahead now and I will cut all of these. I'm just trying to show you. And then you will see the finished results of these doors. So that's the plan. We obviously figured that out while we was live. I didn't shut the live down. I'm happy I've got a jig now. I can carry on cutting. So that's the plan of action. Probably need to get that off. Maybe a little bit of filler on them. But this is what I'm finding with this MDF that I picked up. Right, it's varying in thickness as well. We've had a few issues with it so far. It is moisture resistant. I did get recommended some lovely material to use. I completely forgot all about it. I started the job, but I am getting a really, really good price on this MDF, and the customers are jumping on it every time I mention the price of it. So, I persevered with it. I'm going to crack on with this now. We've got a plan. I'm going to get all these cut for dinner. I'll be very happy, and then after dinner I can get all my panels cut, get all of them glued up and knock them all up and get them in the clamps, and then I made my 6 doors for the day then, so I'll be happy. So I'm just going to have a sip of my tea, everyone. I think we're good to go on this. Thank you, Danny. So we're going to carry on with this now. I just got to keep an eye on it. Those of you who do doors know I need to start the cut here and finish the cut over here, just side to side of my dominoes, and then we're good to go. But what I'm doing, like I said, is I'm cutting these face down, so I got to keep my head in the game, everyone. So don't make a mistake. And we are cutting them face down. Where's my template? Because it was marked face down, wasn't it? What did I do with that? I put it over there. Let's have a look. Yes. We cut that face down. So let's just get this correct before I start. Yeah, that's why I use the MDF, Denny. It's nice and flat. If you've got a little imperfection in it, you can sand it out. It's great stuff to work with. Obviously, dust extraction we try and use, so we're not breathing all the dust in. But it can be a pain. Right, now, because I'm cutting face down, I just need to put a couple of marks on my door. No, I don't. I'm going to cut from the side of the dominoes and I know that's perfect. So no need to mark it up. I'm good to go. So let's go ahead and cut these now, everyone. Got enough hose there? Yes. Now I'm happy. One mistake I done, everyone. I've gone and used a template piece that's not as wide as my rails and stiles, so I just need to reset this up now. This was slightly wider, so if I just measure that difference now, and then we'll set back that difference then, and then we're good to go. Which was nice and easy. So much for me sorting it out quick, guys. Let's have a look. Right, we just move back 10mm, we are good. So we'll go ahead, sharpen the pencil, mark this, slide this back 10mm, job done. That's the quickest way of resetting this jig, and then we're good to go. And that's the thing, see, that's real life working, right? We see all these fancy videos of how perfect jobs go. But what you don't see is what's happening right now. All these little situations that we put ourselves in and then we try and figure it all out. And then you get the end result. So I'm just going to set this back 10mm now. Alright, so I'm going to mark that there. Slide it back 10mm. Make sure nothing's moving, so I'll just mark that as well. Alright, and then we'll move back 10mm. If I had a 10mm packer, it'd be great, wouldn't it? So I'll just use my measuring tape on this. We will just go back 10mm. And we'll go back 10mm on there. Right, we should be good to go then, everyone. Cost me a little bit of time this, but as long as it's right, I'm happy. And that's what it's all about, being right. Move that there, move that there. Clamp this now, check all that's in the same place. It is. Slowly clamp him up now. That's good there. Right, so here goes. Hopefully this is set correctly. Let me just try the side of my router. Looks like we're just about right now. We're only a mil in there, I'd say. I think I need to go back about 2mm to be 5mm in. So I'm going to move back 2mm now. Get a depth. Then we're going to move this back 2mm and then I'll set with a set square then. There we go, 2mm. Bear with me, we're still setting up. I've got my pencil marks on the back there, so I know that's not moving. Then I will set this back 2mm. That's odd. That's there. that was already there. So we'll set that exactly the same so I know I'm running square. I'm going to use this as my test piece then and adjust this one in. Once this one's all adjusted in, we'll be happy. Whoop, what's going on with that? Right, now let's check this. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to line the router up to the original bearing because we haven't got the bearing on this cut. I'd say we're about 1/2 mil in there. That's not a problem. That goes there and then it looks like it's going to go in. So I think I'm good. We're going to go with this one. Everything's going wrong now. Right, you go. Let's go for it. No one has to try. Can't make it up like. The router bit's only gone and moved, haven't it? Ruined that piece there. Get in. I thought something was going wrong there. So all our time setting up, look, and the bloody bit have moved. Right, let me reset this. I'm gutted now. I think we'll be alright with that one actually, because if I spin that, by the time I put the mouldings on, it is going to cover it all up. Luckily enough, we haven't gone all the way to the top. So I'll just show you what's going on there. Not happy. I thought I was struggling to push the router through. I don't know if you can see this, look. Gone off for a silly line. But there we go. Right, we're going to reset. That's all gone wrong. It's a bugger, isn't it? Look at how the router bit's gone and bloody moved. Can't make it up like. Not happy. One thing I don't like about this router, the blades do move. I know it's only small. I've had this has happened a few times now. Right, so I'll just reset this into here where we started off. I think I'm still good with this, mine. Yeah, I think I'm alright because that's the top. That'll sit in there. And then I can still use this piece because by the time I put the bead on, yeah, I think it'll all be covered up. So we're going to go ahead with this one. Cut in. I've got a spare piece of mine, so I'm just talking to myself, everyone, bear with me. I'm doing it on a live and it's not going right now. What this customer's putting me through, I'm trying to attempt something I don't normally do by her for them, but I managed to cut the one, not 100% with that, but by the time that goes there, alright, and then I get my moulding on there, that's all gone then, so we can get away with that. Sometimes you want to get away with something, see? That is it. There's my 9mm panel. I gotta cut some spare by. This is a nightmare.